What's going on, you guys? This is your boy Chart Slayer from chartslayer.com, bringing you investing, business, as well as lifestyle to make sure you guys stay sauced up and dripped on at all times.
That money clip us now, the new now looks like, whoa, upgrade her diamonds, now her girlfriends are like, whoa, I hit record a drop, you can't ignore it. I'm transforming now these cars and planes, I'm always boarding. Just out touring down in Charlotte like I play for Hornets. When I'm performing, never boring, now you can't afford it. Champagne Perrier, finish friends on my face.
So, what are we going to be going over today on this episode? Today we're going to be going over how to create a Forex strategy, which is a part of the series that I always stress and make sure you guys are always dripped up on. So what we're going to be going on in this series is how to create a Forex strategy, which is a part of the playlist and part of the series that you guys can check out on my YouTube channel. The first one I'll link up here so you guys can go ahead and get that. So the first thing we're going to be going over is the 4 types of sessions that we have in the foreign exchange market, and that we have Sydney, Tokyo, New York, as well as London, and then actually not in that order. So the real order is Sydney session, Tokyo session, London session, and New York session, all in that order. And I'm telling you, my favorite specific ones is actually between the mixture of London and New York, but mainly New York. I wake up every single day around 7 to 8 a.m. making sure I get on these sessions, get on these live calls with all of my team so we can go ahead and make sure y'all get the results that you're looking for. So if you guys are interested, quick ad in making sure that you guys get as many quality mentorship that you can, please go to the description and click that link button, chartslayer.com. So moving forward, the Sydney session is supposedly the slowest session of all of the sessions, which is probably the one that's not as much as liquidated. The Tokyo session is the one that's actually the middle, right? It's the middle between being slow as well as the one that's actually a lot more volatile, which is the London session. A lot of people scalp in the Tokyo session. A lot of people actually start their trades in the Tokyo session. I used to do that when I was trading on the Ichimoku strategy back in the day. So the next session after that is our London session, which my mom, if you guys don't know, I do a story later on. Maybe that'll be a whole different video. But my mother, it's a family business of ours. She actually trades a lot of the London sessions more than anybody else, as well as my other parts of my team. Me personally, like I said, I love New York session. I love waking up a little bit earlier in the day, so I can make sure that I get those charts in. But I do not like waking up at 3-4 a.m. in the morning my time, because it's not pretty. I'm not as focused, I'm not as productive. I'm more productive when I wake up at those times and I make the most amount of my money at those times. Sometimes, depending on how great the setup is, I'll take the setup outside of New York session, but that is a rare occasion. But like I said, those are the 4 types of sessions that require you guys' attention, and I specifically like New York. So the next part that I'm going to be going over is the types of indicators. So you have 5 different types of indicators. You have the trending, oscillators, momentum, volatility, as well as our volume. So those are pretty much the different types of indicators that are out there in the foreign exchange market, and as well, I believe they have some in the stock market as well, and other types of markets that's out there. So the first thing I'm going to be going over is our trending market. Now, what type of indicators are used in the trending? Those are like your Ichimoku, your moving averages, right? Those are going to be your those are just good examples. There's so many different types that are out there that specifically uses the attention of trending, right? And what's the strong suits of trending, and what's the pros and cons of each one? So when coming to trending indicators, the trending indicators, right, like I just said before, the Ichimoku, the moving averages work best, as you hear in the name, in a trending market. I know you guys have heard that the trend is your friend, so I definitely suggest you guys go ahead and stay in trend, right? But the cons of the trending market or the trending indicators are that they do not work well on consolidated markets unless you're using the lower time frames, which are a little bit more advanced to actually catch the move, right? So those are the trending. So the next one, when it comes to oscillators, right? The oscillators are usually the ones like your stochastics, your RSIs, right? Those are the ones that, you know, really tell you that, oh, this is overbought or this is oversold. So these are the ones that actually are pretty efficient if you actually know what you're doing. There are different ways to doing that. Maybe I'll come out with another video really explaining how RSIs and stochastic works. You can really knock out some support and resistance on those types of indicators if you so choose, right? But the pros and cons, right? The pro of it is it's very effective when you actually know how to use it correctly. But the cons is not every single time when it's overbought or oversold, you'll get that result that you're looking for, right? So you always want to just keep those in mind, because trust me, they will hurt you if you don't know what you're doing. So the next thing that we're going to be going over is our volatility indicators. The volatility indicators are more like you said, it measures the volatility, which is the speed of the move, how fast it gets to that move. Examples of those are like your ATRs, your Bollinger Bands, right? Those are really, really key if you're trying to measure the volatility. They actually work very well with crypto pairs when crypto pairs are not actually consolidating so ridiculously, right? Which we all know and love. But neither here or there, right? Volatility is the pros and cons is when they actually move, they move. I'm trying to tell you, you could really catch a move if you know what you're doing with a volatility indicator. The cons is that they really don't move great in a consolidated market. So you really have to know your pros and cons so you know which ones work best for you. So the next type of indicator we have is our momentum indicator. And we all know this momentum indicator, which is our MACD. For the people who don't really know what MACD stands for, MACD, it pretty much means moving average, convergence, divergence. So it's a whole lot in that actual indicator. You have a signal line, you have a moving average in there, you have an oscillator in there. There's so many things in a MACD that actually could benefit you if you actually know what you're doing, right? But the pros and cons of that is with momentum indicators, they work a lot when they're actually in momentum. If they're not in momentum, if they're not moving at all, you should pretty much stay away from a momentum indicator, because those aren't really the ones that work in low momentum moves, which goes back to, low volatility, right? And that means consolidation at the same time. So you always want to pay attention to those types of things because they do play a key factor. Last but not least, when it comes to the indicators, you have your volume indicators. Your volume indicators, like it is like your volume, like your WADA indicator, right? They measure the volume of your specific trade, right? The definition of the volume is it pretty much tells you when the orders are coming in. That's the difference between all the other indicators. The volume tell you when people are actually clicking buy and sell at a specific point, at a specific trade. So that's very, very key if you're trying to catch things in the same moves as the banks use it, as the institutions, as the corporations. That will help you identify what's going on in the market, right? Other than that, the con is that if it's no volume, if people are not specifically hitting that buy or sell button, then you can't click the buy or sell button, right? So you have to focus on those things. You have to pay attention to those things when it comes to volume indicators in any indicator, because pretty much in a consolidated market, if you don't know what you're doing, even with these indicators, you will most likely, I'm just being real, blow your account. So you want to make sure you stay true to yourself and use the strengths of the indicators and not the weaknesses. So last but not least, the last part of this specific episode, you guys, is on how to create a specific strategy. Is to know if, like I said, we just went over indicators. Now, if you want to learn how to naked trade. A lot of you guys actually want to learn how to naked trade, but you really don't know how to do it. So I want to go ahead and break down how to naked trade, right? What naked trade it really is. Naked trading is pretty much using key levels, using patterns, using candlesticks to really get your entry, identify where you are in the market, also identifying your trend and executing it to the best of your ability. These are things that you actually want to work on, because if you don't know what you're doing, if you don't know how to naked trade, and you really don't know how to trade in general, you will fail in this industry. So I really want you guys to understand that naked trading, naked trade, is the best thing on earth. I highly suggest all of you guys to naked trade. If you guys really want to get exclusively mentored, click the link below. But like I said, you guys, I want to make sure that you get the amount of drip, the amount of sauce that I'm giving you right now. Really pay attention to what I'm saying, because this is the second step into how to create a Forex strategy series, okay? Now, I have a link below if you want to actually click and get you a free stock on the link below from Robinhood. By all means, I highly suggest it. Let's all spread the wealth. Let's all make some money together. And like I said, you guys, I hope you guys have an excellent day in upper echelons only.